Good morning, everybody. Matt Modi here with another episode of the Dong Report, here to give you 3 of my favorite home run predictions for today's MLB betting slate. We're talking 3 players on Dong Watch for today, Wednesday, June 19th. 3 players today. Admittedly, we're not going to target a specific game, 3 batters like I did yesterday. One can say that did come through for us, kind of. We did get Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run. Thank you to him at plus 260 odds. But the other 2 guys that I had, Will Smith and Freddie Freeman, did not hit a home run. So slightly in the green yesterday. On the entire season, days like that aren't going to do a huge job getting a chunk of our losses away. But it's better to have a day in the green than it is to not, right? We were up 0.3 units yesterday. That brings our total losses on the season. We are down about 16 units on the year. But if you look at the month of June, we are in the green. Granted, we're 19 days, 18 days into June, and our June profits are sub 2 units. So it's not like we are breaking the bank or anything like that. But we will take a month in the green. Hopefully it continues to go well for the end of the month. When you consider how bad things were at the beginning of the season, right? Like if you look at April, that's when everything was terrible. We've mostly been breaking even since then. But we'd love to be up more than 1.7 units in the month of June. So hopefully today goes well. Hopefully the rest of the month goes well. If you are new to my channel, would appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button. And let's get right into today's picks. So again, I'm going to have 3 for you guys. The first one that we're going to lock in is in the Red Sox versus Blue Jays game. I'm taking Rafael Devers to hit a home run plus 350 odds at Caesars. I will admit, of the 3 plays that I have today, 2 of them are pretty chalky, starting here with Rafael Devers, who I am pretty confident to mash a home run. I will say for this specific play, we're definitely not targeting a mashable pitcher or anything like that. Kevin Gausman is pitching for the Blue Jays. Now, Kevin Gausman has the name brand of an ace because he's been really good in his career. He's really not having a good season this year, especially when you compare that to his past couple years. He's not like the worst home run hitter in the MLB or anything like that, but he's definitely not somebody that I am scared of. He allows a barrel rate of 10.8%. That's the 3rd worst barrel rate, the 3rd highest barrel rate allowed in the entire MLB. And if you look at his hard hit rate of batted balls, that is at 38.3%. That is literally the highest hard hit rate in the entire MLB. So he doesn't allow a lot of fly balls, but he allows a lot of hard hits. And he also allows the 2nd highest pull rate in the MLB as well. So again, he's definitely not a pitcher that you just want to completely stay away from. Now looking at the batter-pitcher matchup here, Devers doesn't have any home runs in his 16 at-bats against Gausman in his career, but he actually has hit him pretty well. He's 6 for 16 of those 16 at-bats. He's got 6 hits. That gives him an average of 375. But more importantly than that, 4 of his 6 hits against Kevin Gausman have been doubles. So it's not like he hasn't been able to hit him. He just hasn't quite taken him yard, but he has a lot of success against him. Devers faced Gausman 4 times last year alone. He literally got 3 hits in those 4 at-bats. So if you wanted to play it safe here and take Devers total bases, I don't think that would be a horrible idea by any means. I'm pretty confident that he's going to hit a home run, but because of his success against him, again, the bases wouldn't be a bad idea. And Rafael Devers is definitely a batter that you want to target when he's going up against righties, right? He does not have a great numbers against left-handed pitching, but he's very good against righties. And obviously Kevin Gausman, that would be a right-handed pitcher. 12 of Devers' 14 home runs in the regular season, obviously this season, have come against right-handed pitching. His ISO rate against righties is up to 32.7%. And against lefties, it's down to 17.1%. So it's literally the difference between having an ISO rate that is better than everybody except for Aaron Judge versus an ISO rate that is below average when he goes against righties versus lefties. His fly ball rate, his pull rate, his hard hit rate are all significantly higher against right-handed pitching. And specifically, his fly ball rate would be the 15th highest in the MLB against right-handed pitching. It's at 47.5%. And his hard hit rate of batted balls is at 43.2%. That would be the 6th highest in the MLB. So pretty confident that he's going to mash one against Kevin Gausman. Let's hope he does and he comes through for us. Next up, Orioles versus Yankees game. Chalk pick number 2, Gunnar Henderson to hit a home run plus 360 odds at Caesars. I get that everybody is going to be scared off of taking an Oriole or taking Gunnar Henderson to hit a home run because they're going up. Garrett Cole is making his first start of the year. First of all, I really can't imagine that Garrett Cole is going to be pitching that deep into the game. And it's also his first start coming off of a relatively serious injury. So I do think that some rust should be expected for Garrett Cole. And if he's lights out, well, he's probably only going to pitch maybe 60 pitches, something like that would be my guess. And if you look at the matchup here, Gunnar Henderson has 5 at-bats against Garrett Cole. He hit a home run in one of those at-bats. Literally in his first ever at-bat against Garrett Cole, Gunnar Henderson took him yard. His first at-bat against Garrett Cole. Now, that was his only hit in those 5 at-bats, but it was a home run. And then he had another hard hit that ended up being a lineout, but was pretty close, like was 50-50 in terms of being a hit or not. In terms of, if you look at exit speed and all that stuff, this is according to Ballpark Pal, and had the possibility of being a double. So, and looking at Gunnar Henderson, I also like the fact that while he didn't hit one yesterday, he's been hitting the ball extremely hard. He had 2 hard hits in his 4 at-bats yesterday, and then he had another one that was close to being a hard hit. And when I say hard hit, I mean anything that is 95 miles per hour in terms of exit velocity. I always fumble over those words. 95 miles per hour in terms of exit velocity or above is considered a hard hit. He had 2 that were above 95. Then he had 1 that was 94.3 miles per hour that ended up just being a flyout because it only traveled 336 feet because he didn't quite hit it hard enough. But he had, outside of that, 2 hard hits yesterday, and he hit a nuke on Sunday 2 games ago. So been hitting the ball extremely hard recently. And if you just look at Gunnar Henderson's year, like, he's having an incredible season from a home run perspective. He's one of the best home run hitters on the year. So obviously his stats, his advanced stats for home runs are going to be phenomenal. And that's definitely the case with Gunnar. He's got the 3rd best ISO rate in the MLB at 30.9%. Only Kyle Tucker and Aaron Judge are ahead of him. He's got the 5th highest hard hit rate in the MLB. He's got the 8th fastest average exit velocity. All his home runs are awesome. And he is similar to Devers in that he is better against right-handed pitching than he is against lefties. His ISO rate against right-handed pitching is up to 33.2%, up from 25.6% against lefties. So they're not as dramatic as Devers is, but he's still significantly better against righties. And if, excuse me, if you look at his hard hit rate, specifically against right-handed pitching, it would be the 2nd highest hard hit rate in the entire MLB of all batted balls, only behind Aaron Judge, where if that's the only person that's ahead of you, you're in pretty good company. So pretty confident that Gunnar Henderson is going to mash one today. That's our 2nd pick. 3rd up, final pick of the video, Giants versus Cubs game. I'm taking Michael Busch to hit a home run plus 400 odds at FanDuel. So not every single book is going to have odds out for Michael Busch depending on when you are watching this. The reason why is because technically the books are listing the starting pitcher for the Giants as TBD, meaning they don't know who's going to be starting, but all reports are that it's going to be Spencer Howard and that he's going to pitch. He's going to be the primary for the game. So that's what we're going off of, and you can lock this one in at FanDuel. And then looking at this Cubs game, before we get into the batter and the pitcher, incredible game from a home run perspective, right? Super windy in Chicago, winds blowing out to right field between 10 and 15 miles per hour. That helps a lefty batter like Michael Busch with winds blowing out to right field. And it's very hot as well. It's 90 degrees in Chicago. That should be very, very good for carry. Now, looking at Michael Busch, I will admit he went on a pretty prolonged slump if you look at the month of May and the beginning of June. But, and this is admittedly a small sample size, but it does look as though he is coming out of that slump if you look at how well he has hit in the last 2 games. 2 games ago, he hit a home run in what ended up being a wild game for the Cubs. And yesterday, while he did not hit a home run, he did have 2 hard hits. He had an average exit velocity of his 4 at-bats yesterday at 101.2 miles per hour, meaning he was hitting the ball extremely hard. And one of his at-bats was a double that traveled 389 feet. Would have been a home run in 14 of 30 ballparks. Had an average exit, it had an exit speed of 100 miles per hour in 26 degrees of launch angle. It was the perfect hit if you just look at those 2 numbers for what you want for a home run. It just ended up being in the wrong part of the ballpark, which is why it didn't go out of the stadium, but crushed the ball yesterday. Overall, if you look at his last 2 games, he's got 5 hard hits in the last 2 games. He's got a barrel in each of his last 2 games as well. And we've seen him go on absurd home run binges before. Like earlier this season, he literally hit a home run in 5 straight games. Now he's been ice cold since then, but the last 2 games show that he's possibly breaking out of that. Like the 5 hard hits that he's had in the last 2 games, he hasn't had 5 hard hits in a 2-game sample size at any point since he went on that home run binge. So this is the best stretch he's been on since he hit all those home runs. And similar to Gunnar Henderson, similar to Rafael Devers, he is a player that you want to target against right-handed pitching, which is what he would be facing in Spencer Howard. All 9 of Michael Busch's home runs have come against righties His ISO rate against righties is 20.7%. Not quite in the excellent category, but still considered great. His fly ball rate, his pull rate, his hard hit rate, all significantly higher against right-handed pitching. And really, if you look at the differences of his hard hit rate, against lefties, his hard hit rate is 15.8%. Against righties, it's all the way up to 37.6%. That's a 22% difference, depending on the handedness of the pitcher. So pretty confident that Bush is going to mash one for us. I love all three of these plays today. It feels like a 3-for-3 day are going to be our first one of the year. Let's hope that's the case. But that's all we got. So we just need one of these guys to hit a home run. We are at least going to be green for the day. If we get multiple to hit a home run, we would do a nice job getting into our losses on the year, a nice dent in the vat. So let's hope for that. I appreciate everybody for watching, and have a good one.